success is what you make it. For me, I've started to measure, people say people who are rich, you know, have a ton of free time. I have all the time in the world. You know, I do whatever I want, when I want. I wake up at, you know, what time of day I want. There's no rules in my life. So it becomes a thing of, by some people's accounts, that might be successful. But if you look at me, I'm not successful. I have $4 in my pocket right now.
Now where do I begin? Exactly where should I start?
Shawn Smallwood is nobody. I'm a uneducated stoner, unemployed stoner for that matter. But people started to give me things from a creative angle, video cameras that still work, instruments, and it was a thing of where I had the free time to learn how to utilize them and do things that people weren't doing. So I just started doing that.
I wouldn't work like a 9 to 5, separate work overtime.
My skill set is probably being a problem solver, critical thinking. It's not actually music or taking, you know, photography. That's why I'm very careful to not define myself as an artist or someone who creates any type of art, because I don't see me as doing that. Mostly utilizing these tools which are provided to me in my own experimentation to solve my own hypotheses and whether or not I can actually produce a result from that, be it a negative or a positive result.
Thoughts on the mind, no denying he wants it, wanted it all. It's like
I'm something new. I've met countless people. None of them think like me, none of them look like me, none of them talk like how I talk. So my contribution to the world at large is that I exist. Simply the fact that I wake up every single day is my contribution, because who knows what I might do that day? Who knows what I might come up with, what we may end up executing.
what you hear is just a product of work. The grind is what you gotta do.
It's really crazy. I used to sell drugs, and something they used to say all the time was that you might not see a whole summer, you know what I mean? Or you might see you've seen a whole summer yet, which is a connotation in that that's when you really get your bread. You really get your money up when you're in the summertime, when it's hot out, everybody outside. And it's like, it's something everybody's been telling me lately in regards to all the work I've been doing, like, oh, you haven't even seen the summer yet. So, I mean, we've got a couple projects lined up on the horizon, and people have been approaching me about, you know, doing videos and doing interviews such as you guys over whybluematters.com. And so it's all kind of just moving at the pace it's supposed to. My assistant's assisting me with curating. That's what assistants do, they assist. But she's helping me curate a exhibition around myself, which is primarily her idea. It will involve some film aspects, some culinary aspects, some musical aspects, just things that I've been experimenting with over the course of the past few years.
Can't tell who's really hot, big projects belly flop, who is the one
to foster young talent. I just turned 29 maybe a couple of weeks ago. For me, I've always looked at things of this nature like you have to be prepared. That's impressive. You have to be prepared to step aside, take what you know, and try to put something else new out in terms of a product or a brand or an identity, anything you want to call it. But I think that we have missed our window. We're too old now. We can take what we've learned and try to help kids out, you know, whether it be through music or arts, things of this nature. But now's the time for that. It's not, you know, we don't wait till we're 50 to do that. You know, we do that now when we're able to, and when they're able to. You know, you don't want everybody chasing the same dream and trying to, you know, make it when you're 30.
matter was said, gotta keep moving forward in order to get ahead.
Don't discount the ability to do it yourself. Punk music has a DIY aesthetic to it. There's the new film Exit Through the Gift Shop, which, you know, encompasses Banksy street art. It's like people have this impression that you have to be a certain place, or you have to have a certain things, you have to look a certain way, and that's not the case. You can do anything you want, whenever you want, with whatever you have available to you. I recently discovered that I have available to me all the tools to make a movie, so that's what I'm going to do. And it's like, you know, why did my homeboy spend $6,000 on a camera for it to sit in his apartment and collect dust?
Big projects belly flop, who is the one to watch you? Is that anyone that's just...
I like to think of myself as a scientist first and foremost, not an artist. So the film is a culmination of a lot of the abilities that I've picked up over the course of the past few months, really. I didn't start shooting anything until a year ago, and I haven't started really to work on my own in terms of editing and things of that nature up until really a couple of weeks ago. I got thrown out of school, and that was kind of that. So for me, the movie ended up being a thing about, I've always been interested in the gay and lesbian subcultures in terms of how they interact with each other, and just the fact that they're another subtype of people which will come along, which they purport that we have to be understanding of and work with, but at the same time there's generally never any type of there's no knowledge, there's no blueprint for us. The scientific part of it is the anthropological aspect of it, and I'm understanding a whole new subculture of people, and I'm able to bring their stories or bring their worlds to light through different means. Most of the people I work with have been of a gay, or lesbian, or transgender nature, things of that nature. It's just a hole I fell into, kind of. The movie is it's going to be about a lesbian who puts a classified ad out and basically exploring a lot of what we as straight people see when we look at lesbians. We see like a male and female, and that's not always the case. It's a female and a female. But there's even a lot of concepts like that. Like I said, acknowledging the paradigms and stereotypes for gays and lesbians, and trying to show all that from the perspective of a straight person.
So many thoughts on the mind, no denying he wants
it. Dwayne Wade commercial. You know what I'm saying? They tell you to fall down 7, you get back up 8 times though. That's just kind of how it goes. You're gonna get punched in the mouth. That's life. They try to lie to kids and tell them that it's all not the end in the old yeller, but that's not the case at all. Like, that dog gets shot. Life isn't supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be difficult. That's why you fight and struggle with everything that you do.
I'm running on overdrive. Desire got me getting it in.
It's funny. My mom made me sign up for a lot of social networks that I'm on now. She saw them on Oprah, and she was like, what's this? How do I use it? And it was a thing of where I was like, this is all kind of stuff for kids. Like, why would any adult, why would anybody who has half a brain use any of these types of things? But as I used them more and more, I realized how important they had become to modern day business. And if networking has been the stratagem of, say, the past decade or maybe the past 20 years, social networking is slightly different because it eliminates the party, essentially. At this point now, you can connect with people immediately. So it becomes a thing of, I started to utilize them in that fashion. I created a Facebook page in which I took a name from a grifter who was based out of New York. She called herself Korean Abdul-Jabbar. Basically, she just scammed her way around the city. I thought it was a funny play on words, though, so I used it. I'm half Korean, half black, so I thought it was interesting. I started that as a Facebook fan page just to simply see how many likes I could generate just from ranting, being myself. And it eventually spawned into the Twitter pages. I had the Twitter feed as well, which ended up all reflecting back on myself, though. When I got laid off last summer, it became a thing of where people were asking me, where could they see stuff at? So I had to develop my own website. I've been doing that since I was 15 years old, though. It's like, you look around and so many things are simply just carbon copies of the last thing. The site's helped me generate a lot of interest, which has been quite...
Only follow what's really within your heart, cause you know you got it.
Same way James Dean did. Living fast, dying young, leaving a good-looking corpse, all that fun stuff. But I guess more so that, I don't know, man, like, it seems like black kids aren't, or maybe they, I don't know, I'm hanging out with a lot of them now, so their mentality seems to be changing, but I know when I was coming up, like, there wasn't all the things that you can do now. You couldn't skateboard, you couldn't, play Yu-Gi-Oh! And like that, like, times have definitely changed, so kids are forming bands now, kids are doing all the things, they're catching up to white people, essentially. That's as logical as the instant slavery happened. Like, we have to catch up. But don't discount that as a means to not do something. Don't limit yourself in any regard. Stay true to yourself. You're the only person that actually gives a fuck about you to begin with.
I get what others don't gotta do what many don't like. I'm going to work like a 9 to 5, separate work overtime, working all day and night. I'm running on overdrive. Desire got me getting it in, inspired to make it happen.